Many around the world are mourning this evening after the passing of Bell Hooks, the acclaimed author, cultural critic, poet, and feminist who died earlier today at her home in Berea, Kentucky at the age of 69. A trailblazing scholar and activist, Bell Hooks influenced generations of thinkers and writers with a voice that was always fresh and bravely honest. She wrote more than 40 books, all about love, Ain't I a Woman, and Where We Stand are just a few. She was born Gloria Jean Watkins, and she chose the name Bell Hooks as her pen name, spelled in all lowercase, to put a focus on the ideas rather than her celebrity. In her work, Bell Hooks addressed subjects of race, gender, and class with passion and intellectual boldness, and she will be profoundly missed. Joining me now to talk about the life and legacy of Bell Hooks is acclaimed philosopher and activist, Dr. Cornel West. My brother, it's always good to see you. I wish it were under better circumstances, but talk to me about who Bell Hooks was to you.
My dear brother, Bell Hooks was someone who I loved dearly, respected deeply. She was an intellectual giant, a spiritual genius, a titan for freedom. She was a love warrior coming out of our community, of black people, a hated people, but keep dishing out wounded healers and love warriors every generation. She was one of the great love conductors on what the Isley brothers called the caravan of love, my brother, or what the OJs call the love train. And it was connected to justice, it was connected to soulfulness, it was connected to perseverance, to resilience, and to resistance. And it's just hard to find words to describe who she was. But it's a major loss, though, man. It's a very, very sad moment in the history of our people, in the history of the American Empire, in the history of all oppressed peoples who love freedom and will never stop in our struggle for freedom.
It's important that you use that word empire, because one of the things that Bell talked about increasingly in her work, although it was always there, was the idea of white supremacist, capitalist, patriarchal empire. She named the name. She was willing to point out the contradictions of our economic system, of our cultural realities, of our social practices. Can you just give my audience some sense of just how significant an intervention her work was in the life of the mind?
That she had the kind of courage to get at the root. And by getting at the root, she knew she had to talk about imperialism, which is indigenous peoples, which is the settler colonialism of America, which is also the enslavement of dignified Africans, and also the exploitation of workers no matter what color, and also the devaluing of precious gays and lesbians and trans and non-binary. So she had a holistic view. She was very critical of the neoliberal forms of feminism and neoliberal forms of black struggle that would only talk about inclusion without talking about the class structure. That's why I was so glad you mentioned her text of 2000, Where We Stand, Class Matters. And she would hit this issue over and over again. You remember the book, the text that she and I did together on Breaking Bread and Surging Black Intellectual Life, brother. She hit the issue back then, 1991, man. And
wow.
30 years
I'm glad
later,
you mentioned Breaking Bread. And by the way, we had definitely not caught up. That book, Breaking Bread, that you co-authored with Bell Hooks, actually not only was an influential book for me, but me and Mumia Abu-Jamal, when we wrote our book, The Classroom in the Cell, we were modeling it after what you and Bell did 2 decades prior. That was not a coincidence.
See it right there, brother?
Yes, that's the book right there.
With the smile, you see? Because she always had a smile with style, but I had no idea that your classic text was influenced by our text. I mean, Imani Perry is one of the great intellectuals of our day, and she was an undergrad at Yale working as copy editor on this, you know. And you know Sister Imani, I mean, it doesn't get too much deeper than Imani. You got to go to Farrah Griffith to try to get somebody as deep as her. So that it's a way of gathering, connecting past, present, and future. And yet, even as we mourn and even as we shed the tears and never forget this precious daughter of Sister Rosa and Viotis and her sisters and brothers coming out of Jim Crow, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, that she always had her eyes on the stars. And she was not a coward. She never sold out. She never caved in. She never gave up. That's our bell hooks. Sisters of the Yam, critiques of capitalism, critiques of patriarchy. And you know, remember that We Real Cool coming out of the genius of Gwendolyn Brooks, her book on Black masculinity.
Woo!
You remember that text too, brother? Did she hit it hard? Did she hit the nail on the head? Ooh,
she hit the nail on the head.
What a corpus, man!
There's nothing like there's simply nothing like it. If you're talking masculinity, you got we real cool. You got the will to change. If you're talking about education, she got class matters for the class analysis. The whole series on love, like salvation, is all about love.
That's right, though. But I mean, the various dimensions, and then she got the children's books. She got the poetry. She's unprecedented when you think of American letters. And especially as a black woman, catching all the hell from the patriarchal structure, from the predatory capitalist structure. So many black brothers not understanding. Sometimes even some of the black sisters loving her to death, but still having some envy every once in a while. And therefore, she had to come to terms with who she was, given her genius, her witness, her calling. And I would always tell her, as a revolutionary Christian, Sister Bell, you are anointed. Now, you know, she was a Buddhist Christian, a Christian Buddhist. So she had her own combination and hybridity in that regard. But she had an anointment, man. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. And I can tell you this, though, I talked to Brother Kevin, who was one of the caretakers, and he said that she was listening to Gloria by enchantment. Gloria, oh Gloria, things ain't the same. That's the genius coming out of Detroit, singing Gloria, because her real name was Gloria Watkins, but penned name Bell Hooks after her maternal great grandmother. What a force for good! What a towering figure in the history of the life of the mind and the world of ideas. Our dear sister Bell Hooks, let us never ever forget.
That's it, Doc. There's simply nobody like that. I want to thank you so much for your powerful insight and your deep, compassionate wisdom. I'm sending you my love and condolences as well, because I know that was your dear comrade, your dear friend, not just somebody you read and took seriously, but somebody who you love deeply. So I'm sending you my love, my brother. Everybody stay with us here at Black News Tonight. We're going to continue to discuss the work and enormous impact of author, activist, scholar Bell Hooks. Dr. Brittney Cooper and writer Kiese Laymon, they're up next after the break. Stay right here. Welcome back to Black News Tonight. We now continue our conversation about the life and profound legacy of author, scholar, and activist Bell Hooks, who passed away earlier today at the age of 69. Joining me now is writer, editor, and professor of English and creative writing at the University of Mississippi, Kiese Laymon. I'm also joined by the always brilliant Dr. Brittney Cooper. She's an author and a professor. Take that associate off this screen at Rutgers University. Welcome both of y'all to the show. I'm going to start with you, Dr. Professor Cooper. How did Bell Hooks change the way we think about these issues of race and gender and class?
You know, there's still a profound resistance in our communities to where Black women struggle to call themselves feminists. And so Bell Hooks, when I was a baby, 1981, publishes the book Ain't I a Woman, and really sets the tone for a public discourse in Black communities about what it means to claim feminism, about what it means to say that our liberation is not just tied to the struggle against white supremacy, but that we've also got to think about the problem of patriarchy. We've got to think about the problem of male domination. And so when I think about her legacy, I don't understand myself in the world as a scholar, not just a Black feminist scholar, but as a Black woman from the Deep South who dares to have a radical politics around race and gender without the work of Bell Hooks. So it is Bell Hooks that I first encountered at Howard when a friend dragged me to one of her lectures. And it's Bell Hooks whose work I encountered over and over again as I chose to claim the mantle of feminism as a graduate student. And her work and words continue to guide my journey to what that means for me. And it's Bell Hooks who gave us the language for how to do pop culture critique, and not just to talk about heady theory that nobody cared about, but to think about it in relationship to movies and music and artists that we love. And so there's simply no ability to be a young Black scholar writing today, writing for popular audiences, trying to connect and trying to think about the work of liberation without the body of work that Bell Hooks gifted to us.
Kiese, I want to think about Bell Hooks also in terms of the craft of writing. You know, one of the big bodies of work that she also engaged was books that reflected on writing. For me, Remembered Rapture is one of my favorite books of hers because she gave me permission to think about myself as a writer and how to think about reflection and critical engagement and memoir and all these things. What influence does Bell Hooks have, in your estimation, on the practice of writing and writing as a craft, not just writing as the cleanup work we do after we do all the heady thinking?
Right. All right. That's a beautiful question. And I just want to echo everything Brittney said. You know, I think I don't make enough time to talk to people about how Bell Hooks' art dragged me through college, dragged me through graduate school, and gave me the audacity to think I could create something I hadn't seen. And so, like, today, as we think and mourn, I also want to sort of like hoist up narrative experimentation that we find in Bell Hooks. You know, coming up in the 90s, there were so many people, thankfully, who were giving us history, who were giving us different clever phraseology, and we needed that, given the high schools and the communities that some of us came from that were like abysmally educated, even if they were overly educated. And then Hooks comes along, or we come to Hooks, and we see someone who is, you know, giving us the clever phraseology, giving us the history, giving us the theory, but she's also narrativizing, right? She's thinking about what her body means to empire, right? Which makes me think about what my body means to empire. She's making me question what it means to be or want to be a Black feminist. And so I just think it's really important to think about the way Hooks's practice literally turned into a praxis of revision for so many of us who were clinging and longing for something that saw us as fleshy Black human beings, like longing to create. And Bell Hooks, I think, is the sole sort of like progenitor of that for me as a Black writer and from Mississippi.
Brittney, what Bell Hooks text for you stands out? And I know that she's written over 40, and it's hard to pick just one, but if you had to pick a Bell Hooks book that was most influential for you, what would it be?
You know, I'm going to pick a deep cut and say Talking Back is one of my favorite books. Look, I love the classics, but Talking Back, you know, it was that thing where as a Black girl in these Southern kind of authoritarian households, you didn't talk back. And if you did, you could expect to be like, you know, bodily harmed for doing so. And so that was a book that she took that sort of thing about that kind of audacious way that Black girls would try it and would talk back. And she spun a whole kind of theory around resistance and coming to voice and what it meant to be a feminist thinker from that. And so she was a person who took these everyday practices that happened in Black communities and helped me to sort of see what resistance looked like and the way that I was learning a politics, both of domination in the home and in the community, and also what it meant to then take that same thing, you know, don't backtalk me, girl, and go into these spaces of empire and actually give them all the smoke and all the backtalk all of the time. And also then to understand that I had the agency to invite myself into a dialogue with people who thought that they were merely in a monologue, right? And so, but you know,
Wow.
but it doesn't even do justice to her body of work to pick one text. It's like, you know, picking a favorite, you know, Stevie Wonder song or a favorite Michael Jackson, like, you know, you can't do it, but it is the book that I first went to today when I found out she had passed and cradled in my hand, because I think it was a book that was really central to my own ability to come to voice and to push back again.
Wow, Kiese, I apologize, brother. I only got 10 seconds. Can you tell me the book, though?
All About Love, All About Love. Without All About Love, there is no Heavy and there is no me. Thank you.
And Heavy's one of the great books of this young century, so that says everything. Brittney, Kiese, thank you both so much for joining me on the show. It's been an honor having you, and we're going to have you back to keep this conversation going. There's a quote from Bell Hooks that strikes me. Some people say she read too much, and she wrote too much, and she responded to the latter. She said, no Black woman writer in this culture can write too much. No woman writer can write too much, indeed. No woman has ever written enough. Keep writing, y'all, in the honor and the legacy of bell hooks. Peace.